I, however, was raised 2 blocks outside the front gate of East Lake Country Club in Atlanta, Bobby Jones' home course. And the people that I knew and or caddied for or got to sit at the table with my father in the men's grill were the chairman of the board of Coca-Cola, the founders of Home Depot, the regional vice president of fill in the blank. Every major company in the country had at least a regional office, if not the home office in Atlanta. And my father was a successful salesman, always owned his own business. All of my aunts and uncles did, and so on. So I believe the goal was to be like these people, successful, educated, gracious people. They had a lot of Cadillacs out in the parking lot. And I sort of grew up with that. Years later, I met Jim Newman, who had PACE seminars, and he coined the term comfort zone. So I can't claim I had it back then, but my comfort zone was set high. When I went out on my own, got married, and announced I was leaving home, my father said, "Super, I wish you the best, and if I can do anything for you, let me know. But the gravy train has ended. You're off on your own now." So I walked into our little 2-room apartment, not 2-bedroom, 2-room apartment in Atlanta. No kitchen, by the way. We cooked on a hot plate and washed dishes in the bathtub. And I had half of the bachelor furniture from my apartment with Jimmy Rucker. You can imagine what it all would have looked like. You can imagine what half of it looked like. And I walked in, looked around, and thought to myself, I don't belong here. Didn't know the term comfort zone, but this was not the life I was expecting or looking for. And within 2 weeks of that experience, September 15th, 1965, I answered the ad in the Atlanta Journal, having bought the paper to look for better jobs. And salespeople were not in the jobs department. They went in business opportunities. So you couldn't post the commissions there. So I looked from A to Z, if there was a Z, at all the things I could do for a salary. And Jeff, there wasn't a single item in the newspaper that I was qualified to do.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. So I kept reading as I was getting ready to throw it in the trash, and I came to the section, business opportunities. And I'm guessing, I don't know the circulation back then, but let's say that newspaper went to 200,000 people that day. And that ad only ran one day. He ran other ads at different times, but that ad that caught my eye ran one day. So 200,000 people had an opportunity to read it and respond. 2 did, because I responded for Jimmy and me. 2 did, me and Zig Ziglar.
That's all the action they got from the ad?
Yeah. There were we thought, Zig and I and Jimmy, we thought we were going to a job interview.
Right, you didn't know you were going to leave there buying a box of stuff to go sell.
A box of cosmetics, yeah.
I love your point when you were in this apartment and you said, "I don't belong here," because I've had a hard time putting into words. Some people think, or I shouldn't say to me, "Jeff, can you calm down? You're doing this thing and you're doing that, and you're doing that thing," and simplistically, I'm like, "Yeah, but I got bills."
Yeah. My wife likes when Little Richard was asked by Johnny Carson one night on the show, and Little Richard, dressed like a stolen car, he said, "Little Richard, does your wife like the way you dress?" He said, "No, but she likes the way she eats."
That's right. But your point about "I don't belong here," I think is the most concise way to word what motivates somebody when they are motivated. And, as it relates to comfort zones, I mean, it can go the other way too, because it has to do with your subconscious. So this is why the dieter puts the weight back on, I think, or the person ends up back in the abusive relationship or whatever, because I think subconsciously we all have this thing that we either inherited through circumstances or created because of our vision, or in your case, the way you were living before and the way you were living ever, that I belong here or I don't belong here. And I think that we do things when we don't belong to improve our situation or to make them worse, back to where we belong. Do you agree with that?
Yes. A very dear friend of mine and I walked into the Fairmont Hotel, I believe it was, in San Francisco, some famous, gaudy hotel. And they had never been in a hotel like that. As we walked in, it was a she stopped and looked around and said, I don't belong here. And I took her by the hand, walked over to a sofa and sat down, and we had about an hour conversation about it because she was very talented but had not taken off. And that gave me the understanding of why she hadn't taken off. She didn't think she was entitled to. She didn't think she had earned or deserved the good things in life.
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.